Why, hello everyone, and welcome to the stream. This is Otaku Showboat. Today is Thursday, September 22nd, 2022. We are 3 months away from my birthday, actually, on December the 22nd. Just wanted to point that out. Oh, hey, it's on a streaming day. I wonder if I'm going to stream on my own birthday this year. I don't know. Am I? I haven't decided as of yet if I'm going to do that because it does fall on my birthday this particular year. Fortunately, we don't have like Christmas or New Year's because those are on Sundays. Uh, of course, Thanksgiving I will not be streaming. Uh, it's the 24th, I think, this year, November 24, maybe. I don't remember when the exact date's supposed to be. I have to look at a calendar at some point. Anyway, how are folks? I have continued with Factorio. I have done a few things off screen that we will talk about. Still playing Genshin Impact as well. Progressing in that, fighting the worst boss in the entire game over and over and over again so that I can be done with it, basically. The worst boss in the entire game is officially the Oceanid, Rodea of Locke. It gives you character ascension materials for ascending hydro characters from Mondstadt, majority, and few Lue, I think. Pretty sure I have every single character that uses those materials, which I do. It's unlikely that there will ever be more characters that use these materials. And the boss sucks, so I'm going to be very, very happy once I'm done fighting that boss. It has extremely long animations where you get to sit, stand, and do absolutely nothing for 3/4 of the fight. It was brilliantly designed. It's like a wave type boss. It produces these random enemies that you have to fight as the boss, and each wave, there's animations that take time in between each wave, and after the first 2 waves, you have the boss lower the platforms that you're on 2 platforms, and it takes like a minute, 30 seconds to go through all of the animations of having the boss go to each of the segment. You're on this like 3x3 grid, and it lowers 2 of them, and then it has to come back out of the water to do another wave, and then another wave, and then it lowers 2 more platforms, and then it comes back and there's 1 more wave. So you fight 5 waves of enemies on this boss, with 2 sections where it lowers the platforms. And this boss, because of that, no matter how good your account is, takes at least 2 full minutes to 3 full minutes. I think it's more like 3 full minutes to clear the boss once, as opposed to basically every other normal boss in the game that you can actually beat in a matter of 20-30 seconds. When you have like a fully kitted out, like strong late game account. Which we could have other arguments about that, frankly. The bosses, there should be like another world level that makes everything harder again, but they haven't implemented that at this point. Because, yeah, this is really how long the fight should take. It's just 2 of those 3 minutes is sitting and waiting on animations to happen and doing absolutely nothing, when it should be spent actually engaging with the fight. That's the biggest problem with that boss, and I'll be very glad to be done with it at some point within the next 14 fights. I'm nearly there. I'm nearly done with it for good. Then I can move on to better bosses, shall we say. Anyway, Factorio, hi, we're here. I've updated Train Supply Manager between streams because there was an update to that. Yeah, what did we do last time? Well, we set up optimization tech cards last time. That was the big one. Hello, welcome to the stream. The really big one was optimization tech cards and getting the science processing on the optimization tech cards, as well as working towards more infrastructure being able to be built. Essentially, we set up. Oh, and we set up military tech cards as well. We have military tech cards. We have titanium metal composite. We got imersite crystals. We got high energy crystals, AI cores, and then optimization tech cards in the end. So today, we're going to be working towards matter tech cards and exotic science packs. Oh, right, that's... Ahem. I have to change the title because the exotic science packs are not exotic tech cards. So my stream title, which I've also messed up again because I'm missing a space between a bar, before a bar. There we go. Now we're more accurate. Yeah, we'll get to the exotics. I can actually do that at any point. I think I can do this at any point. So, yeah, exotic science packs. These things. Once I get fusion tech, another caveat, I need to get into the fusion tech before getting either of these science packs, but once I get into the fusion tech, I'll be able to actually get them. But I could get, I think, everything else up to that point. We get to launch more rockets. We get to launch more rockets because we have to launch some Sputnik satellites, and we need to launch some deep space probes. Now, for whatever reason, I don't think that the space probe actually gives you anything. It gives you 10 of that. 10 of that. Yeah, there it is. There it is. We have to launch space probes, Sputnik satellites, and deep space probes to ultimately end up with deep space ore that then gets converted into structured exotic matter up and down in even quantities. And there's a way to convert from one to the other as well. But most of the demand will be for them in even quantities. There's very few exceptions, and they only use the up matter. As far as I can tell, I don't think there's anything that uses just down matter. There are some things that use just up matter, though, so we will have to convert excess down matter into up matter at some point. But yeah, stuff, things. This is not productive. There's no productivity allowed in here, which is very saddening. I really don't like that, at least until I get access to Gauss modules, which... Holy God, Gauss modules. I want you to take a second and absorb these numbers here. So this is to make 0.1 level 3 Gauss module per second. It's going to require 58 fusion tech per second, 7.61 deep space ore, 760 hydrofluoric acid, which is easy, but 33 processing units per second, 66.62 LDS, low density structures, 1.25 high energy crystals, 0.61 combined matter down. Oh. Where's the combined matter up? I must have broken down the combined matter up, and I didn't break down the combined matter down. Which, you know, is just going to add to the LDS as well, and a whole bunch of other stuff on here. That's lovely. We need 75 rocket control units per second, just to get some appreciation, that's another 75 processing units. So it's 108 processing units, and then however much stuff I need for 75 speed modules ones. So 750 electronic components. That's a total of like close to 1,000 electronic components per second to make 0.1 level 3 Gauss module per second. Now, these are extremely powerful modules. Just to be clear, these are the most insane modules in the entire game that are available to us in this playthrough, in that they add productivity effects to essentially every recipe, not actually every recipe. Oh yeah, and all of these numbers, I really should finish here with this, but these numbers are reflective of all of the steps in the chain having the level 3 Gauss modules in them. So this is after productivity gains down the whole chain. So actually, after doing that little change there, it brings us down to 355.9 electronic components and 208.4 circuits, but still, oh yeah, 60 rocket fuel, all that good stuff. But still, it's a bit of stuff, huh? That's a bit of stuff. And we're totally going to build for that. Frankly, we are going to do this at some point. That being said, level 3 Gauss modules are a long ways away, tech-wise. Speaking of tech, I have taken every tech that I can take at the moment. In order to get out of infinite techs, I will need to unlock matter tech cards and ideally the exotic tech cards, or exotic science pack, in which exotic science pack is going to give me access to the level 1 maglev trains. Here, the EM suspension train ones. I had planned on not upgrading to EM 1s until I had access to EM 2s and going straight to EM 2s. That being said, Singularity tech cards and advanced tech cards are a bit further away. The advanced tech cards are not at all far away. But the Singularity tech cards are a little bit more complicated. They're just a little more complex than any of the other tech cards. So, yeah, considering that these are usually the final Krastorio tech card that you make before beating the game, these are, like, the most difficult. But we'll have what we need by then, question mark. I will need more high energy crystals, but I should get everything else that I need for this. It's just a matter of throwing all the ingredients together to make this stuff. Speaking of throwing all the ingredients together to make this stuff, we need to actually get playing the game and discussing what I did off screen in addition to all this. So let me bring up my notes. We'll go through this rather quickly. Electronic components, I have fully transitioned to productivity-based build here. Last time I had one of these lines active. I now have both of these lines active, fully replacing what I already had. This is giving me 120 per second of electronic components, and I am making the silicon productively now using our newly built ingot factories. These are a piece of infrastructure that we were able to build thanks to our activities in the previous stream. This has also allowed me to redo titanium, gold, and neodymium to make use of both Stokes modules and ingot factories for increasing the efficiency for the rich water in to plates out. So now I have a green belt of titanium and a green belt of gold and a green belt of neodymium being produced. And just a bit of lead. I'm not too concerned about transitioning the lead at this moment in time. I have also scaled up glass. Glass is now this. Making use of ingot factories, there is a nice 1-to-1 ratio between crushers and ingot factories when you have level 3 productivity modules assigned in full to these two buildings, converting stone into glass. This ratio is less than 30 stone into 60 glass. It's wonderful. I like this. So this is basically producing 60 times 4 on these lines. So I have a bit more glass than before, 240 per second glass getting produced now through productive methods. I have also gone to stone bricks, made that through ingot factories and productivity. It is now producing a green belt up from 15 per second, I think. Mysterious energy crystals I have scaled. Where previously we had like 150 mysterious energy crystals making 15, we're now making 30 net through speed processes. Changed the way that I'm getting the acid gas to better methods of getting acid water, acidic water. We're converting acid gas into acidic water in this process for these mysterious crystals in these growers. You essentially just throw crystals plus acidic water to double your crystals. It's absolutely wonderful. It does take a little bit of coal to make kerosene out of the crude oil and coal, crushed coal and steam, and then converting the kerosene into additional acid gas and acidic water, just voiding the other outputs here of the petroleum, the heavy oil, and the sulfuric acid that you end up getting out of this process, so that I can just grow more crystals. All of these machines do have 4 speed module 3s in them, so times 100, that's 400 modules. It's a lot, but I needed more crystals, mysterious energy crystals, so that I could scale up my artificial energy crystals. I now have 30 net artificial energy crystals being produced through this factory up here. Just 20 crystal growers needed with the speed modules and production from the mysterious energy crystals and lithium getting crushed and converted into a crystal matrix liquid. That is now producing enough artificial energy crystals to produce the high energy crystals at greater scale. I've gone to 5 per second for now. I will need more, but for now, 5 per second on the high energy crystals, so I'm able to provide plenty for AI cores and for other purposes. Then I've skipped over this a few times. I worked on red circuits primarily. At the very end, the last thing I did. So this is producing about 84 red circuits per second. I know that's not a belt divisible number, but what it's designed around is using full belts or half belts of inputs on each line. So this line of 120 assembling machines full of productivity modules is consuming the full green belt of the copper cables, the half green belt of the electronic components and ceramics, and the full green belt of the green circuits, and then times 2 of that to ultimately produce like 84, excuse me. It's 84 advanced circuits. It's 42 per line of red circuits. So yeah, I've got 2 of these lines here. I do need to go and continue putting in the productivity modules because, as you can imagine, 240 times 4 is a really big number for number of modules that are required, on top of also having the line for the copper cables as well, 44 times 4. So yeah, it's a few modules. I'm still sitting here waiting on productivity modules to craft. Just ran out of time there before the stream today. All that said and done, we're ready to move on. Oh yeah, and I built out another array of train stations because we were running low. We built last time up here these 5 factories to produce military science, to produce the titanium composite, and to produce, the immersite crystals, the high energy crystals, and the AI cores down here. And of course, we did the science at the mall. I did end up having to just make a separate depot for those optimization tech cards. I just did a separate depot for them. Could not figure out how to just make this a supply station and have the things sit at the supply station. I thought that was a thing that you could do. I could have sworn I read that somewhere, but apparently it's not as easy as I would have thought otherwise to do that. So, starting up, we need lithium from Krastorio. Krastorio's lithium. I didn't really compare this to the vanilla method of hydrogen chloride. Matrix Solver is apparently saying that the hydrogen chloride method is the way to go, or that is not the way to go, to just spend the lithium. But if I were to force it to do this, I guess that this is I think that this is easier. I think that this is easier than spending. You know what? We're just going to go full productivity on these, because why not? I know why not, as I literally do not have the modules to do that, and it's a closed system on chlorine here. So basically it's just hydrogen, which is free, and mineral water, which is easy to mine, and 600 water. Yeah, why would I ever just convert from the other stuff? Why would I convert from crushed lithium? Like, that's... Excuse me, that's not the one that I wanted. I'm not using a white hole. Because you have to think that the lithium is its own cost, to make that, right? Yeah, see, now that I broke down how you're getting the helium, it is now defaulting to just use the hydrogen and mineral water, because now it sees all of the steps, and it's determining that that is, in fact, the cheaper option. So this is ultimately going to be cheaper. We're going to do this. I'm going to need a bunch of chem plants. And I'm going to need a bunch of electrolysis plants. Oh boy, I hope I have enough. I had better. Yes, I have. I have enough electrolysis plants. I definitely have the speed modules. Oh god, that's 150 with the speed modules. I need at least 200 of you. So bring me speed. Speed, glorious speed. Don't have enough for productivity on these. Not like it's needed anyway. And I absolutely have the production on the mineral water. That is the easy part. Oh, look. Oh, look. I was going to build here anyway. Why bring in a train when I don't have to? Even though this is like supposed to be the main reason for using mineral water, like the big thing, we do have this over here, the nitric acid on the AI cores using mineral water, and they're literally things right there. I don't even need to bring them in. And up here too. It's like, oh gosh, that's slightly disturbing. I could have just not. I could have just not. All right, let's go. Let's go get this done. After I do this, I will need to make magnets because I will be needing buildings that require magnets in order to end up making fusion tech. Should have probably done the magnets first, but oh well. Doesn't matter in the grand scheme. I can just move on to some of the infrastructure for the other things while I'm waiting on the infrastructure to build. This needs to be a fluid input. Requesting hydrogen. Oh yeah, and I guess we need a bit of chlorine to, you know, start the system. Yeah, we need a little bit of chlorine to kickstart the production, which I did bring electrolysis plants. That is how you get chlorine in the first place out of sand, but I don't know, am I carrying... I am not carrying any crushers. I would need to crush sand, crush stone into sand. So unfortunately, since I can't do that, I am going to have to add another one of these. And just tell it to bring in chlorine. And this is temporary, so I just need to, like, physically have some chlorine here. And then I'll delete the whole thing. I have an entire factory dedicated to making chlorine and hydrogen. Although, I have taken a few techs that are gonna allow me to make hydrogen in extremely vast quantities. Like, I have a, if we look at fusion tech, right, I haven't used it for this one because I don't actually need all that much, but yeah, Fusion Stage has some technologies that allow you to use these thermochemical separators or electric energy injectors in order to directly get hydrogen, including this recipe to make 1,000 hydrogen in 5 seconds from 1.1K water through the electric energy injector or through the thermochemical separator. Now, what's the difference between these two buildings? One uses electricity, the other uses heat. The thermochemical separator uses heat, so this also is using how much? This is using Where's your power consumption on the thermochemical separator? I actually have to look at it here. That's 150 megawatts versus the electric energy injector, which is 10.3 megawatts per electric energy injector. That's not balanced right. So I would say always use the electric energy injector for every single recipe that you can use it for, over using the thermochemical separator recipe. I'm using the wrong recipe there. That doesn't help. It would be that one. And yeah, this one, the heat needed can be better used to convert to electricity, because this electric energy injector is going to use less electricity overall than the thermochemical separator. See, that's going to use 8.1 megawatts versus the 3.5. It's like, well, I can directly convert that 8.1 into electricity. Why would I ever bother with this? There are some things that I think require the thermochemical separator, so that's where I will use it. This is also not quite the most efficient system for producing these the fusion data, because fusion data also has a lithium and deuterium that gives you 100 fusion data, which I initially had in this listing for this factory, but unfortunately it uses a building that I can't make yet to it's essentially a Covarex process, but for like tritium and deuterium. I mean, think of Dyson Sphere program, where they have those buildings where you can cycle hydrogen over and over and over and over and over again to get the I forget what it is. I think it's deuterium. To get the deuterium out of hydrogen. It's basically that similar type of a concept where you're just cycling protium over and over and over and over and over again to pull out deuterium. Unfortunately, and then there's a similar one where it cycles deuterium over and over and over and over and over again to give you tritium net out. But I can't build those buildings yet to do that, so we have to start somewhere. Hello, welcome to the stream. Welcome to today's stream. I am just building out some Krastorio lithium right now. Let's see if I can work a little bit faster. I spent a long time talking. Not as much time as normal, but still significant. We usually spend about 40 to 45 minutes not doing anything but talking at the beginning. It's only been 30, and we're already at this point where we're building something. So, progress? More progress than usual. So the Krastorio lithium is... you can make Krastorio lithium out of 248K lithium, or you can do it the Krastorio way, which, as it turns out, the Krastorio way is more efficient. It just uses more mineral water, because there is a recipe here from crushed lithium, which is 248K lithium, and you can basically convert it 1 to 2. But it's not more efficient when you break down the dirty water for the lithium out of stone. Yeah, Helmut is saying, hey, wait a minute. The hydrogen mineral water is cheaper. So, yeah. We're going the hydrogen mineral water method here, which is different than the 248K. So, yeah, these are different items. And we have to use both of the items, which is the other, like, kicker here. We actually have to use both types of lithium in the base, unlike dirty water, where you're basically never going to encounter Krastorio's dirty water in your playthrough. You don't have to encounter it if you don't want it, but you have to do this lithium. This one is not optional. Oh look, I'm out of pipe already. Gib pipes. I need more pipes. Let's go get more pipes. While I'm at it, I can do that. This is 60, so I am going to use the loaders here just so that I'm not going to have to worry about swing speed on the inserters. I am exclusively on stack inserters now. I completely got rid of my fast inserters in favor of stacks, particularly because now my stack size is 14. I will replace with superior inserters once I have access to those, though. Oh yeah, and then we need 150 of you, and I need to, you know, mine at least one of these into a tank. Are we good? We are good. Get back down here. I can pretty much delete this now if I wanted to. We're not even 100 hours in yet. We're gonna see 100 hours today. We're gonna actually see 100 hours. And this is the point where I'm actually finally getting into matter tech cards and exotic. And yes, this is one stream after getting optimization tech cards and military tech cards. Like, wow. No. This is a more efficient use of resources. Slightly. It just exchanges 2 pipe to grounds for 2 straight pipes. Now I need 150 of this. Oh god, you know what? We're gonna go over here first. Plonk those. Gib speed. Ignore that. That's not accurate. Mining speed of 4 per second is going to give 400 per second of mineral water on this one pump jack. I am not carrying around beacons. Okay. Fine. No cheesy today. So that's going to be 800 per second. That's going to be more than what I need. I only need 600. Oh yeah, plus 80%. What am I thinking? Hold on. Plus 80% up to on the productivity ticks, but I don't believe that the productivity ticks count, so... Yeah, that looks like it's over 1,000 per second in reality. Which is fine. Which is great. And yes, I have a whole bunch of mining productivity now. Apparently, I have 80% mining productivity right now. So nearly doubling our output on the mining drills. Oh god, nearly doubling our output on the mines. Oh boy, I think I may need to add another loader outputting from this. 320 divided by 2 times 1.8 is 288. Yep, I need a... I need 5. I need 5 green belts out now. That's 4.8 green belts. I have 4. Okay then. I'm okay with this. Oh god, and this has to split between a whole bunch of stuff. However many lines this ends up being. Oh, and the chlorine out needs to come back, cycle there. Huh? One more from the right side. What do you mean? Yes, there's enough room for another one on the right. There is enough room for only one more. As time goes on, I'm probably going to have to just replace that with a warehouse to have enough outputs, like once I get into the next rank of beacon. So how many of these do I have in this line right now? 3 lines of 50, huh? I can't double the length of this line on here, so I'll just do 3 lines of 50. I'm going to want to put the belts in and the inserters in on this as well, because yes, this is also going to need inputs and outputs, and I'm realizing that I built that belt the wrong way around. Yeah, this is a bit much. Like, it should not be 150 buildings for this amount of I mean, you know what? This is fine. I know it, like, feels like pie level of amount of scale, but also consider that we're getting 60 items per second out for this amount of scale. There is almost no circumstance in Pyanodons where this scale equals this output. Like, this amount of scale is for, like, half this output at best in pi. Especially if you're looking at Mark 1 buildings. Like, if you're building with base level buildings in Pyandon's mods, you would not be getting anywhere near 60 per second out for 150 buildings on a single step like this. Right, I started on the end. Okay. I'm gonna have to, like, throw this into a warehouse as well, so I can do belt balancing. Oh boy. Could you make a global module that gives buildings a speed multiplier equal to 60 divided by the current UPS? I think your intent there is to try to decouple the rate at which the game runs from the UPS, so that when you're at lower UPS, your buildings still run at proper speeds. This is actually a separate mod that claims to do this. There is a mod that claims to be able to do this. That lets you... It's really meant for the opposite, where you have your buildings run at 1x speed, but running at double the frame rate, so you can have a higher frame rate game. And I think that the way it works is by having the speed of your buildings. So I see no reason why it couldn't work in the opposite. I forget the name of the mod though. I don't remember. I actually don't need those anymore. Whatever, it's fine. What I do need is a lot of pipe. Actually, how much pipe is that? About 3. Yeah, I have enough. Maybe not quite enough on the pipe to ground. Actually, it looks like I had just enough on the pipe to ground. Yeah, that's 144. Where did I get 320 from? I guess I selected more than I thought. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that there's a mod for that. I don't know if it's been updated for the more recent versions of the game, though. It's been a while since I last saw that. I looked at it way back in, like, Pi Block days, so it's been a while. One of these days I'll do a Pi Block game. That day is not anywhere soon. Not gonna happen until it's been updated to work with alternative energy. Oh boy, there were there were inserters that were not placed, so I better place those down. There we go. There we go. Gib power! Whoops. Ahem. You know, it would be great if this game were just a little bit more intelligent. It would be very nice if there were a little bit more intelligence in this system. Just a little bit. Not doesn't need much. Just a little bit more intelligence would be greatly appreciated. Just a little bit. Because no, I do not need any of these power poles placed. Like, come on, game. Come on, none of these are required. The bottom ones, I could get rid of them, but I'll leave them for now. Also, clean up that. This is my time where I'm checking to make sure everything is actually working. Hello, welcome. Yeah, Pi Block is definitely an experience. Definitely an experience. I wish more people would have actually watched when I had played it. Unfortunately, I had to, I stopped it because literally no one was interested and was actively watching. Oh well. I mean, it did have Alien Life in it. And I basically got to Circuit 2s. I think I got... Either I got, like, essentially there or infinitely close to the, to Circuit 2s. But didn't continue after that just because it wasn't worth it at the time. There's some concepts from Pi Block that are introduced and in greater complexity in Pi Alternative Energy, so that's a thing. Okay. This. I'm going to put down probably not a warehouse. There's definitely some icons that were reused. Don't think God didn't notice that that King Arthur had reused some of the icons that were in Pi Block for some of the stuff added in Pi Alternative Energy. Are we ready? Just add water? And finish the pipe logistics, all that good stuff? Yeah, I think so. I do think so. So add water. that makes them move. I am very likely going to need greater volume of... Yeah, greater volume of chlorine in the system. So I'm going to flood in quite a bit of chlorine so that all of these buildings are operating at minimum here. And then that should theoretically be enough. These are chloride limited. Okay. These... right. Only half of the build is working because I did not attach this. Or this. So let me go ahead and make sure that I'm getting the full amount of the lithium chloride going in here. And that should work just fine. If I really wanted to control how much chlorine is in here, I would just add a little bit of productivity, and then I would suddenly have net positive on the chlorine. All it actually takes is just one productivity module in either of these steps, and it would suddenly be net positive on the chlorine. I would have to vent the excess. So we do have lithium now. After all that, took a little while longer than I expected it to, but oh well. At 60 per second, it doesn't matter how much I have stored in there. This is supply lithium K2, depot lithium K2, supply K2, depot K2, full cargo and circuit condition auto magic. Define the lithium source priority. Lithium K2. Save that, and we are now done with the lithium. Next is magnets. Am I going to need that lithium brought in? I'll need it for the actual matter tech cards. I don't think I need it for anything else at the moment, but yeah, it's 100% necessary to make matter tech cards to have the K2 lithium. Maybe this is something that at some point 248K will override to make it into the 248K's lithium. I think that would make a little bit more sense, frankly, because this is, I believe, the only thing... Oh yes, there's also lithium-sulfur batteries, so anything that uses lithium-sulfur batteries uses K2's lithium. That also needs to get replaced. 248K needs to find and replace those particular ingredients with its own lithium, frankly. Because, yeah, 248K's lithium is, it's different, but... Gosh, then there's not that much use for the mineral water, is there? It's just, nitric acid that would end up using mineral water, so it's really hard to, like, reconcile these sources of lithium. It's just made in two different ways. Anyways, well, I need magnets, so at the start here, we're gonna just have, like, one, because it's a bit of neodymium to make magnets. In case you were not aware, you need a bit of neodymium for this. It's also going to loop coolant. So we're gonna keep that in mind. Apparently there is a recipe that doesn't output or need water on these coolant on this coolant. It just cools the coolant down, so I will use that this time. Still need to make an initial amount of coolant from crushed lead, so fortunately I carry around some crushed lead for this very purpose. How are things going for me? Yes, yes, it has been a while since I've seen your name. Been a while, Quest. Yes, things are fine. I am okay at the moment. Perhaps the biggest thing of late has been that I have begun working on Game Boy Colors and like handheld consoles. I've begun buying broken ones and repairing them, and buying working ones and upgrading them. That's the basics anyway on these systems. That's been the big thing. Yeah, just sold a Game Boy Advance SP that I had heavily modified. In fact, I recorded videos of that. There are videos. My most recent uploaded videos were that build, making the unhinged V2, and it just sold. Just went out in the mail yesterday. I did not make much on it to be worth the time, so I don't think I'll be making any more of those, considering it took more than 5 hours to make. It was not much, and it took over 2 months to sell. So yeah, not exactly the happiest on that one. However, I do have similar kits coming that I ordered yesterday for Game Boy Colors. I have full aluminum cases for Game Boy Colors coming on the way. 2 more of them. The last one I made sold very quickly and at a pretty decent profit for the work involved. Okay, I guess you could say. I had complaints about the quality of the case itself, but you know what? As long as I'm not trying to put an amp in, I think that was the biggest issue before, was trying to put in an amp onto a Game Boy Color speaker. Like, actually, maybe not. The quality is trash. So Game Boy Colors, in particular, do not have a very good sound system on them, just inherently. If you're running on battery power, it's not so bad, but there is a low-level buzz on them. Like stock configuration, there is a pretty low-level buzz, and if you replace the speaker with a stronger speaker, normally it's an 8-ohm half-amp speaker, I believe. That is the default speaker in here. If you replace this with an 8-ohm 1-amp speaker, you're going to hear a little bit more of the noise, just electrical noise. If you replace the capacitors with better capacitors on this board, the noise is reduced quite a bit, but it's not eliminated. It's not completely gone. It's vastly reduced if you're using high capacitance capacitors on it, but it's not gone, and that's the key. If you try to add an amplifier chip, which I do have some amplifier chips, to increase the volume of the speaker's output, you will hear the electrical noise, regardless of whether or not you're using higher capacitance capacitors on these. It will be audible at all times. And I'm not about that. I'm not about to sell an item that has that amount of noise in it. Just no, it's not gonna happen. Come on. There we go. So that was like the big like quote unquote mistake I made on the very first time I built with a full aluminum case for the Game Boy Color. That took extra time, was just figuring out, oh hey, maybe I shouldn't actually with this amplifier. But there were other things about the case that I was not too keen on, like on the ports here. You got the link port and you got the volume wheel. There was a little bit too much of a opening for my taste, in that you could just look inside the system, and it's like that dirt's gonna get in there. But regardless, it had sold fairly quickly at the price that I originally had it at, which was $330. So I decided, you know what, maybe I can do this again and have it on promoted listing at a higher price, and it would sell. So I have 2 of those kits on the way, and of course they have upgraded screens as well, backlit IPS screens, so they look amazing. And has rechargeable batteries that charge through USB-C on them. So essentially, think Game Boy Color with a rechargeable USB-C based charging battery. So you don't have to like keep throwing AA batteries in the thing, with a backlit screen, and then full aluminum case with aluminum buttons. Just metal everything. And it works. It's good. It's nice, and it's pretty expensive to make, and a fair amount of work to build. In fact, I can tell you that the case itself, to buy just the aluminum case, is, I think it's $76 by itself, which, for the record, is more than the cost of buying a Game Boy Color. Just, you can get a Game Boy Color cheaper than that. And then the cost of the buttons, metal buttons, another $17 for just A, B, and the D-pad. If you want to get a color match on the start and select buttons, well, that's membranes, silicone membranes, that you'd have to get in the proper color. Those are like another $3-4 to get a membrane set, because you cannot just buy the start select piece of plastic all by itself. And so yeah, it adds up. It adds up to be, through the cost of the system as well as the cost of the upgrades, to be quite considerable. Just the upgrades, like to get a rechargeable battery and the bracket to hold the rechargeable battery, to get the USB-C charging board that you attach the battery to, and to the unit itself, which requires a whole bunch of soldering, to replace a speaker with a better speaker, to get a better IPS screen. All of that, with button pads and the aluminum buttons and the aluminum case, all of that by itself adds up to about $200 before shipping. Plus the cost of the system, which could add up to, depending on, like, I buy in bulk, so I don't pay as much, but it can be, what I like the price I'm selling them for, like it could be $50-$60 for the cost of a system. So just the parts over $250. Can be over $250 just for the parts. And then you have to consider, okay, well, then you have to, in order to install all of these parts, for the rechargeable battery, you have to desolder the battery contacts and solder in wires to the spots on the board. You have to solder to the USB chip. You have to get the things inside. The screen, the new screen has to be installed without breaking it, and you have to solder wires for the screen to control screen brightness. They get wires soldered to the start and select button inputs, so that you can program aspects of the screen's behavior with start select. You have a touch sensor that needs to be installed as well. That's another wire that needs to be soldered. You've got the speaker, of course. You have to desolder the old speaker, solder in the new speaker. New capacitor set requires removing the old capacitors and soldering in the new capacitors. And there's general cleaning of the board itself. Often you also need to install like a new volume wheel potentiometer, or at the very least clean it. Oh hey, we've got a baby. So consider the amount of time involved, and how much is the time worth to do all these things. And yeah, it should not be surprising then that the ultimate cost of the item is going to be over $300. Like, even though the cost of the parts is like $250-ish range, or $220-ish range, depending on how much you end up paying for your Game Boy Color, the actual sale price, because you also have to consider eBay fees. eBay has a bunch of fees. It's basically 13% of the final value of the item, plus the cost of shipping, etc., etc. And that's the thing, is just trying to figure out like all the other stuff. So I don't really have to necessarily worry about like transaction taxes because I work through eBay. I sell the items through eBay. eBay automatically remits and collects sales taxes. As far as income taxes, I will find out when I file taxes, but I haven't thus far made enough money net to owe. And as for trying to come up with a income per hour of my time physically working on these systems, it's just, let's just say that it's not minimum wage. It is not minimum wage. Fortunately, I have a part-time job that pays into taxes that usually more than covers the taxes that I usually owe for my own income. Yeah, it's like, I know that this, as it stands, I don't sell enough volume to really earn much out of it. It's enough to cover more, like, to make a profit. It's just the profit isn't, what am I doing? Get out. It's just not the most ideal. Like, hey, I make some amount of money greater than zero out of YouTube as well, doing this right here. I make a little bit of money. YouTube pays out every $100. I'm getting a payout about every 4 months at this point. Which, you know, not ideal. But it is a number that is greater than 0. I'm going to share this belt here. There we go. I just got to bring in neodymium and the reinforced fiberglass plastic. Okay. Let's get these things brought in. Well, living expenses are a separate matter entirely. See, I live with my mother. I don't know if you've noticed through conversations that I've had, things that I've said over time. It should be fairly obvious. I am not the one who directly pays for bills in the house. I do pay. It's just I pay her and not directly for the bills. So those are not specific expenses that I write off as expenses, or can write off as expenses. Certainly I can write off all of my material costs and the cost of the shipping and all of that good stuff, ad fees, those things. But when it comes to like the YouTube income, I have nothing that I expense. In fact, these past several years, like the entire time I've ever filed taxes, I have never actually filed expenses because none of them counted. This will be the first year that expenses will count and that I will file expenses, including expenses for machinery, quote unquote, for machinery. Oh, and of course, I don't even come close to earning enough to have to fill out like a cost of goods sold on my taxes. That's the benefit of being a small business. You don't actually have to go through those calculations on the taxes. There are exceptions. It's all just put into regular expenses on the business, which is great. Which is great. You add up the cost of the things that sold. That's the only difference, and then you don't have, like, even if you bought the item in a previous year, and it sells in the next year, you file the expense on the next year's taxes because that's when the thing sold. Just simple things like that. It's not as difficult as it at first had seemed for me. Spent a considerable amount of time looking these things up. No. You. Supply magnets. Depot magnets. Now, one thing that I should have been expensing the whole time that I never bothered to do was expensing the cost of my business license every year, as well as the cost of the city taxes on personal property. That counts as a business expense that I should have been claiming on the taxes. The problem is that I didn't have enough expenses to justify the increased cost of the method I was using to file my taxes. It would have cost me more than the amount of money saved. Because I use TurboTax to file my taxes, and I would have had to like upgrade the service, and they say, hey, this pays for itself if you claim X amount of money of expenses. And I'm like, well, I don't have 300 plus in expenses, so not worth it. Or is it 600? I forget. It's like, oh yeah, this service pays for itself if you claim this much. I'm like, well, I don't have that much, so no thanks. Where are magnets? Magnets. There you are. Alright, go ahead and save that. I need to get these magnets brought to the mall. Ah, yes, the benefits of remaining a self-proprietorship. I mean, for me, in where I live currently, the license is like, it's $50 a year, and my property business, my personal property tax for the business is $170, $80-ish. On top of that, it's going to go up this next year, though, because I have to add, like, the cost of my soldering station, desoldering gun, and, yeah, all of those tools that were not cheap that I'm still paying. I just thought the other day, oh, right, I need to... I bought those items on credit, so I have to actually go in and I can claim the interest paid on those items as business expenses, too. Yeah. Isn't running a business great? Because you can totally claim interest paid on business-related expenses through, like, credit, items bought through credit. That is a business expense. All right, where's the thingy? Magnets. Bring me magnets. I need magnets. There we go. Magnets. Glorious magnets. Now, there's one thing that I find very frustrating, and that's when people online, I watch a fair amount of YouTube of people who play video games for a living. I find it very frustrating when they say that they claim their video games as business expenses. My brain immediately screams, no! I don't know where they're getting their legal tax advice from, But in the United States, there is no possible way that you can argue that 100% of the time that you play that video game is spent working. Sorry, but no. 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 You cannot use business items for personal use. And if you do, you have to keep track of the amount of time spent doing one versus the other and only claim the percentage of the time that was used for the business from the value of the item. Anyone saying that they've been claiming video game purchases as business expenses is not... They're not in the right of mind. Like, that's why I'm not going to be claiming any computer expenses, just in general, because I'm not going to, like, calculate how much time I spend on my computer working versus not working. Like, I am not so delusional as to think that 100% of the time that I spend on my computer is time spent working, just because I happen to stream and play the games that I stream. Like, no. That's bullshit. Complete and utter. Like, there is no way that you can argue to me that even a reviewer whose job it is to play video games for a living, even the concept of trying to, like, of playing games to keep up with the trends in games to apply to your job, that still does not hold water to me, because you still go home at night and sit and play video games for the purpose of relaxation and not for the purpose of working. Like, you cannot argue to me that that same amount of time that you spend relaxing in front of your TV at night is the same as what you do for your job. No. Just no. These are separate, completely hardline separate things. Anyway, that's a rant in and of itself. So I have magnets being brought somewhere, and there is some sort of a building that will be made now because of that. Over here, I think, yeah, these guys. Hi, research fusers. I need you. I need research fusers. Yes, thank you. We are going to be making glorious fusion tech. Glorious fusion tech, as the Ollie is back. Hello, my Ollie. Hello, kitty cat. Big boy. His little paw there. There's that boy. Yes. Yes, Ollie. Sleepy Ollie. Yeah. So, let's see. I need laser facilities and magnetizing facilities. Oh boy. Alright. Laser. Yes, I need those. I need... Oh, apparently I'm already requesting laser facilities. That's nice. I need crushing facilities. Or factories. Oh boy, I need more chemical plants than what I'm currently carrying. I need an oil refinery. A singular vanilla oil refinery. Plasma facility? Oh gosh, do I even have those? Are those getting made, or do I have to do something else? Plasma. I do have plasma facilities. Thank God. Needs coolant. Yeah, no duh. And I think that just about covers it. I think that just about covers things. I'm going to need more than 15 per second, but that's what I'm going to work with for now. I just wish I had 54 research fusers, but I don't, so we'll be a little bit limited at the start here. Though it is looking like it's about that time to take a break. We are around halfway through today's stream. Oh, I need to build that. And unfortunately, a lot of this is not productive, which is why I didn't really bother with speed modules. But I guess I can speed module the research fusers. That would be ideal, considering I don't have enough of those buildings at the moment. Yeah, needing only 14 of them is much better than more than 40. There we go. We place the thing down. My alarm has gone off to signify that we are now halfway through today's stream. And we will build this factory when I have returned. I will be back in just a few minutes. And I have returned. Welcome back. Kitty, of course, follows me once I get up, so Kitty has left for the moment. Dolly, I think, is settling down on an ottoman in the den. We'll see. We'll see who decides they want to show up here. Let's actually get focusing on the game rather than talking about things unrelated to the game. I need to make some progress. Absolutely. Wow, 8? Are you sure, game? Are you sure I need 8? Wow, I need at least 3. Okay. Alrighty then. I am going to have to make this through crushed lead. Let me go grab some crushed lead real quick here. Thank you kindly. Do-do-do. Alright, that's that. Let's see. What do we want to do as our next step here? Let's crush some lithium. Alright, there's crushed lithium. Ta-da. Then into a fluid. We are fluidizing lithium. Oh, this is 1-to-1. Excuse me, I did not pay much attention. This is, in fact, 1-to-1, and these are equal-sized buildings. So that's nice. That all will go into here, or out of there, from hydrogen, so we can get some protium. All of this is lithium 6, I believe is the name of the item. Lithium Li6. I believe that's referring to the number of neutrons in the nucleus of the atom. Yeah, because protium has no neutron, deuterium has 1 neutron, and the tritium has 3. It's just referring to the size of the, or has 2, excuse me, refers to the size of the nucleus, number of things in the nucleus. Protium is just 1 thing, 1 proton. Deuterium is 2 things, a proton and a neutron, and then tritium is 3 things, a proton and 2 neutrons. Whereas this guy, lithium 6, I guess has 3 neutrons. That's what's pictured here anyways. 3 neutrons. You know, I haven't thought about that. Lithium is element 3? It's been a while since I've looked at a periodic table. It's like, wait a minute. Wait. Hold on. Is that 3? That's 3 electrons that they're putting on this diagram. This diagram shows 3 electrons there and 3. They're showing 3 protons and 3 neutrons. That would equal 6. Yeah. Anyway, stuff, things. Regular hydrogen. Oh god, hydrogen. Oh boy. Yeah, so I've been watching coverage of the SLS. And oh boy, gosh, I hope they have used their data from yesterday to come up with a plan for loading up their hydrogen onto that system. Oh no. Oh no. No, why? Uh-oh. That's got to stop. You probably don't see this on screen, but that light is flashing. It's like it's strobing at the moment. It's a compact fluorescent, and it's started to strobe. So I need to stand and actually turn that light off. We're going to be darker a little bit. At least for the moment, because now I only really have this light and... I think I have another bulb. At least one bulb somewhere, but yes, we'll be in shadow now for the rest of the stream. Yeah, of course, uneven lighting and all that. How do I control the venting without valves? You make your own valves, A, and B, I just vent all of the excess, period, of either one. If I can find where I'm making the stuff here. Yeah, so you just make your own valve with a pump. Here, let's see if I can, do a slight adjustment here. That's brightness. That's brightness. How's that? Now let's try something else here. Let's try exposure. Hey, we're brighter. Let's cut that ever so slightly. That looks slightly better. Hey, we got the illumination from one side. Might have been better to go with methane. Well, they wouldn't have been able to work with the system with methane. It just wouldn't have been good enough. I only need one of these. So, research fuser. I am pushing the R key. Yep. So it's checking for a specific value within the tank that is a threshold value that the tank can hold. It's not the maximum amount the tank can hold, but just any arbitrary value that you can set that is within the range of how much the tank can hold, and then have the pump turn on when you are above that value to vent it. So yeah, this is how you rotate this building. I do not know why this building always has its inputs at the top of the building. I do not understand this behavior. I am very grateful that we can use Gauss modules on this building, though. That's nice. Having 6 Gauss modules, that's 150% output. There we go. That will be that. There's that one, and then... So this particular recipe takes the protium. It actually doesn't make any use of these others. The deuterium and tritium. Just want to check this tritium. Ahem. By the way, there is a Krastorio tritium that will not get used at all. It will not be used. So we can burn in a flare stack, which is exactly what I was looking for. Burn. Burn! The trace amounts of deuterium and tritium that this will produce. I'm going to need what? Lithium. Lithium. 248K is lithium. Stone. A lot of stone. Nearly a full green belt of stone. I need neodymium. And I need hydrogen. And that is it. From what I see here, that is it. So the next thing is the plasma facility here. Just swap that. We need 6 of these. All right, fine. We need 2 of these, 2 of these, and 2 of those. So this plasma facility is going to be making plasma data. I need to input stone and coolant to output this stuffs. Oh, right, you are outputting solids. I still do not understand why this building does not rotate with the fluid ports on the bottom. That seems like a bug to me. Then there's this guy. Same thing. 2 of you, and then 2 of the other. You're taking neodymium in and making a solid. Oh, hello. Hello, my dolly. Yeah, meow. You're going on the chair? Yes, you're going on the chair. How's my baby? How's the girl? Here's the dolly. Yeah. There's the baby getting settled. Yeah. That's the dolly. Dolly with her big bushy tail. Yeah. Yeah, baby. Oh, she's purring. She is purring. Okay. That is almost that. There's still one more of these. Oh, this one just makes laser data. Okay. This one just takes in fluid and outputs hot fluid and it's done. It just makes data out of essentially jack all. Yeah, and it's 40 to 40, so all right, we're good on that. Let's run the pipes for the coolant. Three buildings for the coolant, pretty sure. There we go. That's better. Take that. Fill it. Go fast. Actually, I want those modules for me. Whoopsies. Yeah, that's right. This one just goes. Yeah. Yeah. This one just goes. makes laser data. You're spending power on this one. These buildings use 312 megawatts each. Yeah, just a little tiny bit. Oh boy. Okay. Let's get this one will be stone. I have decided. This one's stone because it's nearly a full freaking belt of stone. And yes, this is in fact called this is called Fusion Tech, excuse me. Our lithium at Fusion Tech. And what was that last solid in? Our neodymium at Fusion Tech. These will be a shared belt. I've decided their throughput is small enough to justify. Okay. Then the hydrogen line. Whoops. Okay, that just fits. I can just bring everything in at this point, and I, of course, have to put it all together up top, but... Oh, you know what? I hooked up this to the wrong thing, didn't I? Yep. You go there for the neodymium. Yeah, almost. Almost made a big mistake there. That's a heck of a lot better. We'll go ahead and combine those two. And we'll go ahead and combine those two to make this line of 22 a little bit easier to deal with. Where'd that laser data go? There. Enjoy. Do the outputs, do the belts, then copy, and plonk. All the way down the line. Glorious, beautiful, wonderful power to the everything. And that, as they say, is that. Give me neodymium here. And give me glorious hydrogen right in there. Hydrogen? Hydrogen? Oh god, it's going somewhere else. Do I need another train on hydrogen? Most likely not, but you know. Waiting. Oh, you Go back. I have to edit. We are going to add a 10-second wait timer onto that. So under no circumstances will it sit at that station for longer than 10 seconds. And this is a pretty ubiquitous issue with fluids and Train Supply Manager. I will need to make this change to basically every single location with fluids. Oh well. For now, though, once the stuff arrives, that will be Fusion Tech. And that will be the... Wow, you're pretty. Plasma facility. It glows. It glows in the dark. And so... Excuse me? I really... Yeah, I really... This is the exact reason why you should not have two items with the exact same name. This right here, Exhibit 1 of 1. There we go. Just add 100,000 hydrogen into the mix. Wow, that makes a bunch, doesn't it? All at once. Yeah, that makes a lot all at once, by the way. Just like, hey, by the way, this is... And the amount of time it takes. Bear that in mind, too. This is a 100-second craft time. We're going to speed that up just a little bit. But, yeah, 100-second craft time. Just, soak that in. 100,000 hydrogen. It can now process 2,500 per second for the one building, making a whole 1/4 of a deuterium and 0.03 tritium. And hey, there it goes. It's moving! And once it's done moving, I'll have this tech card, this fusion data, and that'll get me actual fusion tech. So let's wrap up this build. I'm uncertain about the stack size on the fusion tech, so we'll leave it at 1 for now. Put that in there. Put those and those in there. I need to name the station. Supply depot, full cargo, circuit condition, auto magically. We go. Oh. Excuse me a moment. Yeah, I didn't really pay much attention to that. That says 5 gigawatts. That says 5 gigawatts, doesn't it? All right, that says 3.4. That says 4.7. So that's going to be the actual loadout, ultimately, I think. But the other thing to note is that this is not the final, this is not the actual process that I want to use for this. So we'll just have to see, wait and see on this system. Because, oh hey, I've got some fusion tech. Oh my god, its stack size is 10,000? Ew. 10,000 stack size on this fusion tech. Oh my god, even at 15 per second, trying to stack 20,000 units? That's 22 minutes. So I'm gonna have to change this from full cargo to actually count the amount of stuff in here. We're gonna say 250 for the moment on the item that it's carrying, unless I can do an each or an any on here. Can I do an any? I want to do it. I want to have an each signal on here. Unfortunately, we don't get that for trains. I'm going to need to go grab you. Yeah. Yeah, about that. Alright, let's take it. Defusion tech. Hope my base didn't die because of that period of time where it was running on a fraction of the amount of available power. Yeah, I was clearly not thinking with that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab all of y'all. So that'll be 8, 10, 12, 14. We need 36. It's 20. 30. That should be 36. Because I do want to actually have the 15 per second if at all possible, despite this system using 4.3 gigawatts, aka half of my power production. Our next trip to the mall is going to involve bringing in the Fusion Fusion Tech, to the mall because I do need this stuff for infrastructure. In fact, it's going to be the last thing that I need in order to make my upgraded robots, so that's going to be fun. Transitioning to the upgraded robots. The logistic bots are going to be moving at over 200 kilometers an hour, moving 10 items. Similarly with the construction bots, they move the same speed and carry the same number of items. This is as opposed to the other stuffs. So let's see, I will be able to make a fusion reactor with Fusion Tech. I will be able to make matter tech cards with Fusion Tech. I will, of course, be able to make my Ki3 beacons and energy providers, but not the core. I cannot make the core until we get through these structured exotic matter up and down, at which point then I will have Ki3 cores getting made. There are these Stellarator and Hertz fusion reactors that will be able to be crafted, as well as neutron activator. This was the item that I needed to turn protium to deuterium and deuterium into tritium using neutrons. We will need to get into that. But exotic science will also use fusion tech, so lots of stuff to have to deal with. And also the Ki3 energy uses fusion tech, along with exotic science packs. Isn't that glorious how we have to spend science packs in order to actually maintain the extra beacon effects for our level 3 beacons? Oh boy. And we will continue using this fusion tech for just so many things. But for now, I'm going to worry about this. Actually, I get to decide. I get to decide which I want to do first, because we could do the matter tech or the exotic tech in any order we wish, and I think I'm going to start with the exotic tech because this is going to be made exclusively at the mall whilst I am here. Looks like I still don't have enough of those research fusers. So we're going to bring... I'm actually going to copy... extend my train station. I need to think about turning my train station at some point. Start building it down here, or up here. I don't know. Maybe put another intersection in and just have more input train stations out that way. For now, though, M Fusion Tech. That's not how you spell tech. Come on in, Fusion Tech. And now let's set up the matter, or the exotic tech cards out here. Okay, this process is going to involve 3 rocket launching, rocket silos. So we're going to go ahead and do that. They're all going to need productivity modules. I'm gonna copy the input, but it does not take satellites. Each one of these is going to be different in their inputs. I can't squeak through. Oh, and these are going to be, like, fast, because they're right next to these beacons on the rocket control units. Unfortunately, at this point in time, I do not have the production of rocket control units to support this. It needs 2.49. I will do this over the weekend off screen. I will work on scaling up the rocket control units to actually support the throughputs that I want with the 3 exotic science packs overall. So, essentially, one of these needs Sputnik satellites. What tab are these satellites under? That's a great question. Yes, this needs... Excuse me? Fine. Sputnik. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna copy that over here and then add Sputnik, then add Space Probe, and then add Deep Space Probe. So we actually have to make these probes. We need the Sputnik, we need the Space Probe, and we need the Deep Space Probe, and we need to make compact space cards, which that's going to involve computing power, which actually we'll need from over here. This guy. Pretty sure it's this guy. I didn't pay any attention. Did I grab the right one? Yes, it's a data center. Taking green wire and mysterious energy crystals. This building, 125. Okay, we're going to need to make a few of these. Actually, I only need 11.25, so I'm going to need 2 of these. There we go. That is pretty much that. So I have all of the parts to make the Sputnik satellites here. I will need to likely scale this titanium metal composite. I only have 1 per second of that. Outside of the Sputniks, I'm going to end up having, like, through rocket launches, the Sputnik launches give me basic science data cards, which will upgrade to compact space data cards with computing power. Those will get used to make the space probes out of all of these other parts. Oh, do I have high energy crystals being brought here? I don't think so. I sort of need those. And then similarly, to get the deep space data cards, you launch space probes. So you need space probes, and you need to launch space probes to get the deep space data cards in order to make deep space probes. And the deep space probes give you exotic ore. That is the ultimate thing that you get out of this system. Is you wanna launch the deep space probes, but you have to launch everything else to support the launch of deep space probes. It's, you know, a mission. M hex. Let's get hex here. Beautiful, wonderful, high energy crystals. So now the mall is going to be stealing my hex from me. I am producing more hex than I am storing in the cargo wagon. So that's nice. Slash, I'm storing a whole bunch because I have enough being sent here. I'm getting enough fast enough. Believe it or not, that's the majority of the exotic science. That's all of those steps taken care of. We end up with deep space ore. We do need hydrofluoric acid, but that's the easy part. Since I do have fluorite being made here, it only really needs a ferric acid. It only really needs a ferric acid. Now, I could provide the deep space ore on the train network, but I'm going to be needing this structured exotic matter here at the mall, either way. So we're just going to make this. I will need to bring in sulfuric acid to the mall. This is fine. Whoops. Go back. Show me my stops. There we go. I end up clicking on my browser. Get that repinned so that I can go down here, get this over here. One of these will have to be replaced. So you are the next one in the line. Oh yeah, replacing all the robots is going to be fun. Speaking of which, the upgraded ones are being crafted. I've got 7 each now of my upgraded super duper bots. How fast are these guys? Oh. 15 plus 45. More cargo capacity, though. 15 and 45. That's opposed to, 50 and 150. So, like, going from 60 to over 150, you're like practically tripling the speed of the robots by upgrading to the Tesla and Hertz bots. So definitely a thing that I want to do. It's just that excuse me? Oh. They've got all their wires already, that's why. It's just that it's a little bit difficult to take the old bots out to put the new bots in. Just a little bit difficult. You can do it using filter inserters on essentially every single one of your roboports. So that's something that I'll probably do once I have enough of the new bots stored up. I'll filter out the old bots and put the new bots in. You could get mods that are able to automatically pull them out, but I don't think I need that on this particular playthrough. We only need to do this one time, and if it's only one time, I'm okay with it. Alright, bring me that. That's going to give acid water as well. That will vent. Vent, vent, vent. There we go. Voila. Oh, I don't have one of these buildings. This is a purifier. Hey, isn't that grand? Come on, Constructobots. Now, this makes 2 items, so I am going to want to filter by the up and the down. By the way, welcome to Exotic Stage. Soon. Welcome to Exotic, but for now, we'll do that. We'll load up 2 separate provider chests. This is specifically because I need them to be separate for specific things. And then this is just going to exist somewhere close-ish by, like, here. Because we're going to be loading this science onto the trains. Oh yes, and we need to, of course, request the exotic ore, the deep space ore. Alright, now you need to change to a supply station. So I need to basically grab that, plonk, excuse me, plonk here, supply exotic science packs. Why they're called science packs and not tech cards is beyond my comprehension. And I need to add another one of these. Oh no. Oh no, what have I done? Oh no. Still? Ah, huzzah. I did not intend this. I did not intend this. Oh well. So, they're bringing in those. I did not want that. You are in fact bringing in something different. You are bringing in the exotics, which are here. And just get the train placed. Something tells me that this also will have a stack size of 10,000. Yeah. So I'm going to have to make some adjustments. Supply, depot, full cargo, circuit ignition, item count of exotic science packs greater than or equal to how much? I guess we'll keep it at like 250 or a nice better even number 300. We'll make that automagic and then assign the exotics there. That is exotic science packs done, even if we haven't made any yet, because we haven't launched any items yet. I need to see exactly what's going on here. So we are... Yes, we are vastly limited by the amount of rocket parts getting made, which is currently being limited by the amount of blue circuits coming in. I still only have 5 per second on blue circuits, and they're getting used pretty ubiquitously. They're getting definitely drained by module production in particular. I wanted to get to that between streams, but I only really had the time to get into the additional red circuits to help support the additional blues. And I'll still be needing more reds as well, so let's keep that in mind. And I'll be needing more greens, but fortunately with the greens, we've got 240 per second of those, thanks to the power of bacon. I'll need even more as we go, but for now, that's fine. That will work. So these are pretty much just stuck waiting on blue circuits. That's what you're telling me? That making these Sputniks at the moment is limited by the blues. Do you take blues? Yes, but you have blues. You have your blues. So really it's just the Sputniks waiting on the blues, and then the rocket parts control units, excuse me, waiting on the blues as well. Okay, well, while I am waiting on that, let us now set up matter tech cards. This is just going to need quantum computers. So I can put in my request for quantum computers. There we go. Don't need magnetizing facilities. Don't need laser factories. Don't need plasma facilities. Just need quantum computers. And they've brought them to me. So let's head on back to my own personal locomotive so that we can get matter tech cards sorted, or at least the factory for the matter tech cards, because yeah, we are probably not producing enough fusion tech for this at the moment. I need to place these buildings. I apparently need more power as well, because this isn't gonna cut it. Because, you know, just this whole thing isn't gonna cut it anymore. Yeah. So we're getting into this point where scale is becoming an issue on the power system. It is a very efficient system, and I was looking at better, like, fusion means of producing power. It's not that great, actually. Just I was looking in here at the options, and it's like, well, actually, getting advanced turbines or big turbines, it's like, I don't know. We do have these advanced steam turbines that take 975C steam. You need to make 975C steam through lead coolant shenanigans. We then need to, you know, somehow get our coolant cooled, heated, whatever. So, yeah, and unfortunately it doesn't look like any of the, like, tokamak or the other reactor end up having proper recipes. Alright, there they are. So you need deuterium and tritium, like, duh. Stellarator is the more ideal, I think, if I want to get another, like, 10 gigawatts. That's 4 of these. These things don't have neighbor bonuses. What am I trying to decide upon? Well, I've come to the determination that I will need more power. I'm at the point where I need more power because I've just made fusion tech, and research fusers are a lot. Research fusers are a thing. Go tokamak. Why? Why tokamak versus... Because you can run it on just deuterium rather than tritium? Is that the reasoning? I could also run Stellarator off of lithium and protium. That seems like it would be a better idea. I mean, yeah, I get it. This one does more stuff in a cycle, but you don't cycle it as much. So, woohoo. Okay, it's a bit less. I see that this is less. To use the tokamak for the same process using deuterium and tritium in equal values. The problem is getting these in equal values. And then is there any benefit to the just deuterium with its 7.22? Like, is there any value of just the deuterium, or is it always going to be value, or is it better to do lithium protium, because we're gonna have a lot more protium, and that lithium, I mean, frankly, lithium is free. Lithium is like free, so, and protium is super duper easy. We're talking this to make this. As opposed to trying to use the neutron fluid to do stuff. Because, yeah, you can do neutron fluid to produce deuterium and tritium. So it's like, is that better to do all of it then? You do all of it? So protium into deuterium into tritium, and you have to make the neutron fluid out of the fuel rods. So in this case, it's 0.23 fuel rods, which, I mean, yeah, it's still fairly simple to make the fuel rods, but You do not need fuel rods. What do you mean? I mean, there is the charged neutron container, but you're like having to reuse your deuterium and tritium, or protium, lithium. You're like, you do this. The thing with this, though, is, hey, look, it's a stellarator. It's, okay, now we're forcing ourselves into having to use some efficiency on here, because a gig to make 10 gigs, like 10% power draw to keep the system moving is a lot. Okay, I want to make it clear, 10% is a lot. These don't use power. So these should always have speed. Or these use so little power. Wait, 20 met. What? Okay. Yes, you can get the hydrogen from water too. You get this. Where's that 1.3 gigs coming from? Oh, it's the fusion reactor itself running. Is 875 to run the reactor. Yeah, I guess we can do this. How much is it at exactly for? All right, that's 4.18. So 18, 18, 19, 19 something that it's able to produce out of 4. You said it was 1 stellarator per 4 tokamaks. That's not accurate. There. So that will be what we end up doing for power, but we're not working on that right now. No, right this moment. Right this moment, because I don't really have the infrastructure here. I don't really have this many neutron activators. Like, this is a lot of neutron activators. I'm not able to build this, and I don't have advanced steam turbines at them all. At the moment, this is something I have to build and work on over the next stream. Right now, we're making matter tech cards. Now, I understand I could start with 1. I have 0 infrastructure. Okay? I have 0 at the moment. I literally just started making magnets and fusion tech. I sort of need to have enough fusion tech to even have more than 1 of these items. Like, I legit don't even have enough to put 1 item down the line at the moment on those. Ah, boy, how much is this going to use? 51 megawatts. So, then 8 of you. Okay, what inputs do I need? How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 wonderful stations. Doink, 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 doink. Get all those out. Okay, you have 4 inputs and you have 4 inputs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Out. Shared. And outputs. So what are the matter tech cards going to get for me, as well as the exotic tech cards? Well, they're going to allow me to now I have the stuff to actually make efficiency or effectivity 3s, the KI3 stuff. So I'll be getting this just as a result of setting up that. But I'll be able to unlock future trains. Not really going to go through the effort of replacing them until I get singularity tech cards and advanced tech cards, but still, they'll be unlocked. I'll be able to get the energy control units and immersion processing. I'll be able to then move on to get into advanced tech cards in our next stream. Really, there's not too awfully much that unlocks. There is, however, a whole bunch of stuff involving matter that will be absolutely glorious. The oil conversion, in particular, is godly. Oil conversion, in particular, is godly. I don't think I kept it listed though, or is it this one? This one, yeah, hi. Hello, 158 megawatts, but this is oil making rare metals from oil. Hello, Ollie. Why did you bring Dolly's baby? Hi. You brought Dolly's baby. This is Dolly's. This is hers, huh? This is hers. Yeah, why'd you bring this one? Where's yours? Where's Chipmunk? Where's that Chipmunk? Why'd you bring that one? Oh, he wants to bat? He wants to bat at it? Yeah. Pretty boy. Pretty boy has his vet visit this weekend on Saturday. He's getting his rabies shot. He's getting his rabies shot this weekend. Oh boy. I wonder how much I'm gonna bleed from that excursion. From trying to get him into the carrier. Our carrier is really meant for dogs, not cats, but we had a fairly sizable cat that would sort of laugh at an actual cat carrier. Just no, would not fit. And Ollie's a fairly big kitty too. Yeah, she's a fairly big kitty too. Yeah. Oh, you're licking? You're licking the baby? There we go. Okay, what goes where? So this one's a shared line on this first step. So we've got our rare metals. Oh yeah, did I mention that I scaled my rare metals as well? I think I forgot to list that in my between stream listing. I'm pretty sure I completely forgot to mention it. I'm making 60 per second of rare metals now using the ingot factories at matter MTCs. Our plastic at MTCs. Our lithium K2 at MTCs. Our immersite crystals at MTCs. Oh, frick. Tech cards. Right, our fusion tech at MTCs. Our processing units at MTCs. Yeah, so I did this wrong. This needs one more station. Shared. Our iron at MTCs. Our copper at MTCs. Find some science somewhere. Closest science is where? Here, you. And then that is this one. Right there. Easier, maybe. The issue is resource density. That's sort of been why I've never made the blank tech cards in their own separate factory. It's resource density. These things, they eat up 2 iron plates and 2 copper cables to make 5 blank tech cards, and copper cables are 4 copper plates per 8, so it's using 2 iron and a copper, 3 items making 5. I've not seen it as particularly wonderful for moving it via train, just from a resource density perspective. And they're easy enough to make local. So I usually just make them local. Huh. What did I do? I cut rather than paste. Or copy, excuse me. I cut when I meant to copy. Alright, so let's look at the rare metals, because I didn't show that earlier. That is over yonder. So I updated rare metals. I have put everything as full productivity on the line here. I extended a few more buildings, chemical plants, making the enriched rare metals. So we are, in fact, enriched. Don't know if I needed to adjust the number of flare stacks, getting rid of the dirty water from this. I'm pretty sure we're fine. I may need to go and check that. And then I have ingot factories with productivity, a few of them. 40 to make my green belt of rare metals. So that's the new rare metals. And this is matter tech cards done. Do I still have fuel? Yes, I have one more thing of fuel. Okay, that, those, supply, depot, full cargo, and circuit condition. Define the matter tech cards. Right down there. Save that, and we are good to go. Well, that means I will be able to take these techs. I'll be able to take this tech right here. I will be able to get Power Armor Mark III once I get those advanced tech cards. Oh boy. Matter processing will exist. Star engines will exist. And fusing iron and copper and sulfur and lithium and uranium-238 and uranium-235. Is it going to be worth it? Maybe not. We'll see in the end. But I'll be able to get all that line of the technologies once I pick up all of those. It's interesting times. I have actual techs to take now, including another set of techs for inventory size. Oh boy. Lithium will be worth it for the black hole supply. Well, I haven't looked at the black hole in much detail. It apparently underwent a update, so it apparently you used to be able to get like petawatts of power out of the thing, but now it's, I guess, limited to 1 terawatt. per black hole. My initial thought was throw sand in the thing. That was my initial thought, was sand from a resource density. It was 1.01 terawatt hours. Well, I saw someone talking about it on the forum for 248K about how they were getting petawatts of power out of their one black hole. But I don't know. They might have just been wrong. Wouldn't put it past them. Oh yeah, we get level 2 substations with the Immersite stuff and the purple thingies. Yeah, with Immersite. Thank God it's just add Immersite for the most part. LDS, whatever. And better exoskeletons. Ooh. Very nice. Well, anyway, while we wait on processing units, I think is the main thing here, and the fusion tech, of course. Have I done any of these launches? Have any of these launches happened as of this point? The answer to that is no. The answer to that is nah. Nuh-uh. I've apparently made 3 of these Sputniks. One of them is sitting in here, so this guy is waiting and ready. It's just that it doesn't have the rocket control units. It hasn't gotten enough yet. Yeah. We're 28% rocket progress. Oh noes. Oh noes, that's slowed everything down, and that's all because of the lack of processing units. Ugh. Like, the only thing here for modules that use processing units are level 3s, right? Yeah, it's just the level 3s. And the level 2 of the Stokes. Oh, right, Stokes! We can make level 3 Stokes now. Yeah, we can do level 3 of the Stokes, as I make my issues worse. As I make my problems worse. Yeah, so this takes fusion tech to make the level 3 Stokes. These give 12% productivity on them, and of course they are required to make level 1 Gauss modules. Can we just, again, appreciate the resource cost of level 3 Gauss modules? Can we take a moment to, reflect upon the, sheer atrocity that is level 3 Gauss modules and the resources that these things need to even make 1/10 of one per second. Just even have 1/10 of one level 3 Gauss module per second is a pretty extreme amount of stuff. Have you not paid attention? This is after Gauss 6ing all of the assemblers. This is after putting the Gauss 3 modules in all of the assemblers on the entire chain to make Gausses. Yes. This is the after. This is the after already. We've already planned and thought about these things. By that point, it will be fine, yes, because it's not coming anytime soon. And by anytime soon, I mean like week. Next week is when we deal with this. When we will have to deal with this. How are we doing on these? Oh, we've got a few robots. Thank God. We've got some of these Hertz and Tesla bots. Huzzah. Have I even made a single tokamak? No. I don't even have a single tokamak yet because for whatever reason these things need 2,000 fusion tech. Good God. There, enjoy some fusion tech. What is the stack size on these? 20? Oh gosh. 1 and 1. I have 10 entire fusion. Excuse me. Yeah, beacons, you can be full. That's 1. Neutron activators. I do have 10 now. And we are making 1 tokamak. Do I have a reasonable fuel supply for the diesel trains? Yes. Short answer, yes. I do have proper fuel supply for my diesel trains currently. I'm not worried about my diesel trains. I've got a bit of a storage of them. So, hey, power will eventually happen. Eventually. So what do I need to... Oh, right, advanced steam engines. I do have the steam turbines, the advanced steam turbines made. I have 1.2k of those, so it looks like I could go into the tokamak power, but how much energy is like 1 fusion reactor? 4? Not 40, 4. 5. Alright, not quite 5, but also not quite 4. Not more. It's more than 4, but less than 5. More than 4.5. So that would need 39 neutron activators. You say 1 tokamak equals 9 advanced turbines, or 18. Well, here's the thing. This is telling me that it's 45 advanced steam turbines for 1 tokamak. Probably a little bit more than that. You're probably thinking liquid lead heat exchangers. It's 18 liquid lead heat exchangers, which produce 975C steam. I wish these things had a neighbor bonus, but whatever. Oh, and I need a stellarator still, which I think was made. Yes, I have a stellarator. I've got electric energy injectors, I'm pretty sure. Yes, I do. Yeah. So of the price of water, we get power. Yeah, it's weird because this says that it's 0%, 20 megawatts. I don't, like, huh? Like, do they use 20 or do they use 0? Here, let's find out. Let's inventory liquid lead. Bring me these. Bring me these so I can actually look at them. So we're going to be doing the steam 975, not the 415. You do get double the 415 for half of the coolant. but that's a lot more buildings, a lot more turbines that you have to work with. So this thing is showing nothing on power. Yeah, it shows nothing on power, so I could put those in. Yeah, there's no power here. And then there's critical steam, but I was looking at that and I was like, because there is a big turbine as well that can process critical steam, but I didn't know so much about with that one. That one processing critical steam. So with this, out of tokamak, deuterium, tritium, out of the processing matrix solver, out of containers, basically the same process, and then that out of water in the electric energy injector. So same thing-ish. This time, this uses 2 tokamaks to get 4.5 gigawatts, versus this one using 1. So why is that less efficient? That's a great question. 2,200 and... well, yeah, 1786 here. Wait, where's it getting... oh, from here. Right, because this also produces a little bit of lead coolant. Right. So, as you can see, big turbines, not as efficient to use critical steam. Like, why does it even exist then? Like, okay, sure. I would think that it would be a better process, but apparently it is not compared to this one. So I'm probably going to have to do this one off screen because I do need power, and, you know, I did the nuclear off screen. We'll do smaller scale and then probably scale it up together next time. Depends on how much infrastructure actually gets built between now and then. But what I can say is that all of the factories today that are able to produce exotic tech cards and matter tech cards have been built. If I had my infrastructure producing enough blue circuits, I would have these tech cards at this point. But I do not. Yeah, fusion tech should be on its way. Hold on. Why you know? Oh. The fuck? Oh, have I... what? What has happened? What hath happened? Ah! Yes, let's go and move my vehicle 2 inches so that all the others can go by. Yes, I have a bit of a traffic jam because my personal locomotive was not moved properly. I didn't park it right. This is what happens when you double park. This is what happens when you double park. So let's keep that in mind. Try not to double park. Well, with that, we have been streaming for 3 hours. It is time to call it for the day. We have set up the infrastructure to make matter tech cards and exotic exotic science packs. Don't know why they didn't rename those to tech cards, but hey, these are science packs. The next time that we meet will be about getting into advanced tech cards. Now, the only factory that I need to make to get into advanced tech cards, well, 2 factories technically, if you really want to get into it, is I have to get lithium sulfur batteries, and I need to get immersite processing into plates. So I will have a separate plate factory that will produce the plates and put them onto the train network. I am using... Oh, and this apparently does not have ingot stuff as well. That'll give me the advanced tech cards. Now, getting into the singularity tech cards is another matter entirely. This is going to need a few things that I probably will want to have as a separate factory, like stabilized matter, like energy control units. Probably gonna want to have those provided at the mall, made for the mall, etc., etc. So we'll have to make the energy control units separate. Oh, look, it's our good friend, the empty neutron container. Yeah, gonna need to make that for the fusion power tokamaks that we'll be doing. Yeah, definitely gonna need to make those. Make those to spend. Are we spending those? I think we're spending those. Yes, we are straight up spending those to make new, singularity tech cards. But this is the most complex single science pack in the game. I have looked at the late game 248K stuff. None of these are singularly particularly problematic, because we essentially do a lot of the work already by that point. Like, a lot of this is a repeat from making exotic science packs. We add these HCP circuits into the mix, and just a couple more steps, and then have each of these packs in the end. Ultimately, not as bad as the single science pack here. That will be the mission, is to work on this as well as get advanced tech cards next time. We need to get these, and we need to work on these. For what I do off screen, though, we shall see. I don't want to make new stuff, but I might not have a choice, depending on like what infrastructure things I need in the mall to be ready for our next stream. We shall see. I'll transition the bots to the new bots, because I have the new bots now, and I'll be picking up a lot of technologies between now and then, and we'll see. With that, I would like to thank you all for watching. This has been Otaku Show, but if you have enjoyed today's stream, please be sure to do all of the social and engagement stuff down below the video. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you have not yet subscribed, and hit the notification bell. Consider becoming a member of the channel by hitting the great big blue join button and supporting on Patreon at patreon.com/otakushowit if you are so inclined and able. I will be back with more of this on Tuesday, hopefully sorting out my lights. By then, I will see you all on the next one.